Hey everybody, how we doing? My name is Matt with Voice Crypto, and we are about to jump into the charts. Super excited to be here with you guys tonight. There's been a lot of crazy action in the markets with CPI coming out this morning and just absolutely rocking us. We could look at crypto bubbles, and it is a sea of green today, which is super awesome to see. But in this last hour, 15 minutes or so, we're starting to see some red in the market, and we'll see because we also have PPI coming out tomorrow, and I'm super excited to dive deep into this with you guys. I'm feeling pretty energetic. The crypto market's been wild. My hair's even been wild. Hold on, my hair has been wild. My lady said that I should start wearing a man bun here. I got this little bun here. Let's get this rolling. Oh yeah. Let's see. She said, put the headband over. You got to scoop the hair in the back. Scoop the goop. Put the hair behind the ears and slap it up there like that. You get your bun. You put it in. And you got your man bun. You're ready to go. You know, it feels pretty good to finally have my hair long enough to put it in a man bun. But hey, we're gonna ride. It's actually very comfortable. I get all that hair out of my face. Looks good. You get to see my landing strip forehead. But let's ride. Let's jump on into it, everybody. Let's look at the trades that I have open. What did I do in the past 24 hours? The market actually kind of rocked this. It really did. Before I went to bed, I was in a Bitcoin long, and then that CPI came out and absolutely wrecked us. I got stopped out of my trade. That's okay. I got right back in upon the rebound of CPI, right in here where that little green arrow is, and we started ripping to the upside. And I already took partial profits, already covered most of what we lost over that Bitcoin trade. It's unfortunate, the news, but we will move forward. And this Bitcoin trade is heavily in the profit right now. And I did have some altcoin trades open that are a little smaller, but they're going to track Bitcoin. I opened them pretty recently, so we'll see how they do. And I'm excited to go over each and every one of those with you guys. So let's look at CPI. What is CPI? CPI is a measure of the amount of inflation, right? The amount of inflation that is in goods that are besides food and energy. So it's how much did those absolutely being ridiculous. All right, let's see. Let's dive on in here to the charts. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? We are live. All right, let's go. Cool. So let's dive on into here to the charts and see what we are seeing. This morning we had a massive dump on the CPI news, which was absolutely awful. But we did see here, let me pull this out. We did, in fact, get some bullish divergence here on the 15-minute time frame, which was able to kick us out of here and ultimately break this high before we broke this low. And that was awesome to see. We took advantage of that move, and now we are cracking the 200 MA on the 15-minute time frame. That is a super bearish sign. If we do end up closing this candle beneath the 15-minute 200 MA, I'm going to be out of my trades. I'm going to close my Bitcoin trade in profit, and I'm going to take the loss on some of these altcoins, because when Bitcoin starts to struggle, I'm out. I'm out of the altcoins. I'm not going to mess with altcoins when Bitcoin dominance has been on a tear, and I'm not looking to get wrecked. You could even see this kind of Adam and Eve structure kind of forming. So we break that low, we're likely to dump pretty violently to the downside. Now, scoping outward on Bitcoin, it has just been absolute chop these last couple weeks. Yesterday I was talking about, hey, we closed massively bearish with that bearish engulfing candle, and now we have a bullish engulfing candle. Will today be a bearish engulfing candle? And we've been trading within $3,000 to $4,000 over the past few days. So that has really been speaking of where the candles closed anyway. Look, we had 3 days where we moved just a couple dollars on a multi-trillion-dollar asset. So let's look at this and look at what I'm looking at on the larger time frames, right? The daily, I wasn't able to see much, right? You could kind of see this head shoulder kind of pattern here that we defied, right? We defied, had that break to the upside, and now I'm seeing a lot of people think of this as a falling wedge, but I'm actually seeing something a little different as we zoom in here on the 4 hour. Right, I love this Adam and Eve pattern that's forming. We have our Adam, and we have our nice rounded bottom for our Eve. And these break out massively, 60 to 70% of the time, massively to the upside, right? So when you break your neckline here, we are going to Valhalla when we break that neckline. And that takes us, believe it or not, to a new all-time high about $110,000, which would be mind-blowing considering the fear that we are currently seeing in the space right now, right? So we go over the economic calendar, right? We'll go to crypto market cap. Let's see what the fear and greed index is looking like tonight. It's just a measure of sentiment in the market, right? Sentiment in the market. It'll come up in this little square area here. We're at 40. Anytime that we dive down deep into the orange or to the red, historically has been a massive opportunity to accumulate some Bitcoin. So let's go over here. Let's see, we're cracking that 200 MA. We have 6 minutes till this candle closes. If I don't see some strength here out of the 15-minute 200, I am going to abandon these trades, and it will be a profitable day, and we will reevaluate for some other potential opportunities, right? We are struggling here with the altcoins. The Bitcoin trade doing good, already $80 in realized profit, so we're looking to capitalize very nicely on that. Currently, I'm in trades on Ethereum, Chainlink, and the Virtuals protocol, which I am really liking after it broke out of that 1 hour 200 SMA and is currently being supported by the 21 moving average. So yeah, again, that's my bigger idea for Bitcoin as we're seeing this Adam and Eve pattern form out. And I know we're seeing a pretty big red candle right now, but we have just been an absolute chop. We've been an absolute chop for the past, this is the daily. We've been an absolute chop for the last week, and arguably since the election, we have just been chopping around here. There hasn't been a substantial push to higher prices or a substantial dump down to the previous breakout point down here around 67,000. So I'm not really sure where price is going to go, but we are going to wait for confirmation on this Adam and Eve pattern. And if I see a break below this area right here around 90,000, that'll turn me into a bear. I will believe we will be going to lower prices, perhaps $70,000 to the $75,000 range. Why $70,000 to $75,000? Because, come on, VRVP, work with me. There we go. $70,000 to $75,000. That's our next major area of support as we dive down here. If we were to break this high volume node, which currently we are, so today I would really like to see price action get above that high volume node. I don't want to take this trip back down to the next high volume node, right around 70, 75,000. That would be catastrophic for the altcoins. That would be catastrophic for every asset in the crypto space. And Bitcoin with Bitcoin having a 25% drop, you're likely to see a lot of your altcoins fall 60, 70, 80. Some of them, I believe, will fall 95% with that. It's because the speculation in the market will be dead, right? So, yeah, this candle is not looking good. I will wait for a candle body close in about 4 minutes here. Ethereum looking okay in this bull flag, right on the 15-minute, well above the 200 MA, so I may decide to keep that trade open. Chainlink is doing relatively well, doing okay, holding above that 15-minute 200. The second we lose the 15-minute 200 MA, I don't chicken out. I chicken out. I get out of my trades. I could always get back in if we get back above. But when we fall below, we struggle. We struggle bad. So I like to, like examples like this. We fell below, nuked. We fell below, nuked. We fell below, nuked. We fell below, nuked. I'm not looking to ride that train downwards. And when it does, if we do break the 15-minute 200 MA, we'll dump. The 15-minute 200 MA will come down, and when we crack that again, that's where I will be getting back into those trades. All right, so let's look and see. Let's look and see how Bitcoin dominance is doing. How is Bitcoin comparing to the rest of the market? And this is really good to see for the altcoins, right? We were in a nice pennant. We're in a nice pennant. Statistically, they break up to the upside 68% of the time. But with that, you have a 32% chance of breaking to the downside. We broke to the downside, and it looks like we're coming down here, which is a huge breath of relief to the altcoins that have been absolutely struggling. If Bitcoin could get this drop, Bitcoin dominance can get this drop, a 5% drop, maybe these altcoins hold up during a massive Bitcoin dump. Maybe they hold up a little better. Bitcoin falls 5%, altcoins fall 2 to 3, right? That's what we want to see, as Bitcoin dominance is historically very high right now. Been on an absolute monstrous 2-year trend to the upside, and we had a blow off top kind of shooting star candle right there. If we could see in one day, it was a massive candle to the upside. I don't want to see anything like that for Bitcoin dominance again. I don't think we will, given the structure of that candle, right, with that big wick getting sold down, and now we're starting to get that rounding top. I'd really like to see that, and if we could break this 200 daily moving average, which we did back here, and Bitcoin quickly recovered and got back above, but if we could break that daily 200 MA on Bitcoin, that is going to send us down to the depths, and that is where I will be looking to take heavier altcoin positions than Bitcoin, because this is signaling to me that in the near term, the altcoins are going to massively beat up on Bitcoin, massively beat up on Bitcoin. So let's see, let's go into Ethereum right here. Let's zoom out on Ethereum. Ethereum's been getting such a bad rap lately just because of lack of investor confidence. I read something about Vitalik Buterin wanting to quit. Good morning, April. Good morning. I was reading about Vitalik Buterin post on X saying he wanted to quit just based on the degenerate gambling that's been going on in the space and lack of investments into things that'll actually change the world, right? So even frustration from the Ethereum co-founder, right? And I understand that, right? Like Ethereum is supposed to be leading the altcoin charge, and it is below its daily 200 moving average. And as I said on Bitcoin, that's where I become a bear, right? And we are below the 200 moving average for Ethereum. So I'll be looking to increase on my long positions when we break above that daily 200. You break above the daily 200, boom. You break above the daily 200, boom. You break above the daily 200, and you could potentially off of daily 200, and it takes time, right? It takes time. This one took 4 months. You have a 131% spot gain. And that's just spot. That's just holding Ethereum. If you have a leverage trade open, a 3, a 4, a 5x leverage trade on Ethereum, this could be gains that really boost someone's portfolio when they're talking about futures trading, right? So that's something to look at here. We are getting that death cross right here where the 21 comes and it crosses the 200. That is very dangerous, and we want to try to see if Ethereum could get back above that 21 moving average. Super important for Ethereum to keep these altcoins alive, because if Ethereum continues to nuke from here, you can imagine, and all altcoins will follow it, and will follow it very quickly. And Ethereum, everybody's looking for that massive breakout above the all-time high back here at about $5,000 that was achieved in November of 2021. And if we don't get that, that's what sparks the altcoins to really start to rally, right? You break previous highs, you boom. You break previous highs, you get boom, right? You break previous highs, and you still get a massive push. That's a 25% push there on the biggest altcoin. So those smaller altcoins are really going to absolutely start ripping when Ethereum starts breaking to the upside, right? So I have also notice this head and shoulders pattern, this inverse head and shoulders pattern here forming potentially on the daily, where we have our shoulder, we have our head here, and we have our right shoulder. Could this be the inverse head and shoulder that Ethereum needs to get out of here, right? And you have your neckline. You have your neckline. Let's make that nice and cute there, right? Some little eyes. Oh yeah. He's sad right now because Ethereum down here, the right shoulder, he's so sad, right? We'll give him a little stash. We'll match my stash. Match my nice stash right here, right? Kind of similar. Oh yeah. Some wushu right there. Nice. And we are going to break. We are going to be looking for a break of this neckline right here to get us back past that all-time high, right? You zoom in out, the target of that inverse head and shoulder, you take it from the neckline all the way to the base of the head, will bring us up to about $6,100. That would be massive for Ethereum, and we would see an altcoin run like never before. So that is exciting to see, and you're going to start seeing numbers like we have here in the year, 3,000%, 700%. And you're going to see these things on market cap coins that are under $1 billion. It isn't anything for a coin to go from 100 million to $1 billion. Or it isn't anything for a coin to go from 100,000 to 1 million. Now you start getting into coins like, you know, those upper market caps, right? You're talking about XRP, Ethereum. As much hype as those coins have, you're not going to see a 10x, a 20x come out of those coins because there isn't enough money in the market or coming into the market that is going to propel such a large asset upwards, right? That's like thinking that Amazon can triple this year or Amazon can 10x this year. It's so large already that the amount of money that's needed to move these assets that violently is astronomical. So, you know, if you're looking at things for looking at opportunities for the altcoins, you do want to, if you're looking for those 20, 30x's, if those in your risk portfolio, you definitely want to start looking at these market caps, right? You want to come down here, right? And I know a lot of these are super hyped projects, and most of your coins should be in Bitcoin. You should have the goal to focus. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do whatever you would like. But my opinion is that you should have most of your coins in Bitcoin, as it is the safest asset. And I believe we are going to, $50, $100 trillion over the course of time with Bitcoin. A lot of these projects may not follow suit, but I think in the near term, this bull run, you are going to get some absolutely massive gains. Now, notice the market cap difference, right? You have a $2 trillion market cap, Ethereum, 327 million, XRP, 142 million, or correction, $billion, right? 327 billion for Ethereum, 142 for XRP, right? Some of these assets, even just down here for Dogecoin, to get to the market cap of XRP, it would need to 4x from where it is, right? So the amount of money that's going to have to come into Doge is really, it's astronomical. It's actually miraculous that XRP was able to get a 6x from where it was, because it was sitting down here at a 20 to $40 billion market cap for a long time before it had its exponential rise, right? So when you're looking for gains in that 10 to 20x region that you want to see over the course of this bull run, you need to be looking down here at these altcoins that are reputable projects, right? But still in the top 100, in the single digit billions, right? Ondo is a great project. I know they're talking about with BlackRock right now, creating contracts with the government in order to tokenize and allow people to see on-chain government official transactions. That is super huge for the space, right? But it's only at a $4 billion market cap. If it gets to 40, that's a 10x. That's not even half the market cap of something like XRP or Ethereum. That's where you could see that massive, massive return on investment. Again, these are higher risk because there's not nearly as much money in them, right? But the further you go down this list on CoinMarketCap, the more speculative you need to be when it comes to investing, right? Like Fetch AI was sitting at 280. Now it's falling pretty quickly off the top 100 radar, right? As you come down here, you're going to start more and more 1.4 billion, 1.3, 1 billion. And then you're talking about coins that don't even have $1 billion in their market cap, right? Now, are any of these going to be the next Dogecoin runner, right? Will any of these get to 100 billion? That's when you're talking about that 100x, right? Just because a token's cost is low, for example, XRP only trading at 230, there's a lot of speculation online. $10,000 XRP, 20,000 XRP, right? And as fun as that is to say, as interesting as it is to see so many people posting those things, it is impossible for us to get those kind of market caps without a massive hyperinflation environment, because there's not enough money in the world for us to get a $10,000 XRP talking about, well, money that's ready to invest in the world right now or in Tether, right? There's not enough money to get XRP to a $10,000 market cap, right? That would be for a $10,000 XRP, you would need to almost 5,000x from where you are. So you would need to take $142 billion and multiply it by 5,000, right? Whatever that number comes to, you're talking about tens, hundreds of trillions of dollars in order to get a market cap or a price of a $10,000 XRP, right? So I really encourage, whenever you're seeing Twitter or YouTube and people hyping these prices up, to do your own due diligence and come over here to the market cap and see, is this really possible, right? Is this possible? Can Bitcoin get to, $100 million? I think it can one day, right? But it's not going to happen this cycle, because the amount of money printing that is going on is going to eventually get us to a point where some of these assets may reach those higher optimistic price levels, but it's going to take time. Currently, we are at $36 trillion on the national debt, right? Where you are getting robbed every single day. This drives me absolutely nuts. The amount of debt per citizen that occurs. Yesterday I was looking at this. This was at 106,000. So overnight, all of us owe an extra $1,000 to the government in order to get us our national debt paid off. I think it's really cool that Elon Musk entered the Doge clock here, how much money we're saving. And you can read that right there. It is super cool to see real-time savings from the government waste, fraud, and abuse in federal government agencies. You're talking about $89 billion saved. And how long have they been in office? 2 weeks. So it is really, really, really cool to see that we are starting to save some money. But this is honestly just throwing a bucket of water on a blazing forest fire. It is not going to do much when you're talking about a $36 trillion national debt. And these numbers tick up every single day. It's tens of thousands constantly, after second. We're just owing more and more and more to the world. And it goes to a lot of programs that really some don't even exist anymore. So it's just a lot of government waste and spending, and this money that is printed ends up festering somewhere. It ends up landing somewhere. It ends up in banks, right? It ends up in savings accounts. And the banks take and invest our money in the market so that they can make that 10-20% return while they pay you pennies on the dollar. It drives me absolutely nuts how much people are getting robbed in this country, and they could just print without the dollar's not based on anything, absolutely zero, right? It used to be based on gold, but it's not anymore. It used to, all those assets like gold, silver, and everything are rocketing to the sky because the dollar is not based on those assets anymore. So they could print to the moon, and all that money is going to end up in the financial markets. That's why a lot of these things are so heavily inflated, right? The stocks, right? Apple, things that have gone up massively over the past 10 years, they're not actually worth 10 times what they were 10 years ago. Right? They're not. It's just there's that much more money in the system, right, than there was back then. That's why the prices of goods are going up. Is a banana worth 40 cents or is it worth 10 cents? Well, it's worth 40 cents a pound now compared to the 10 cents that it was 10 years ago. Not because a banana is any different, or did the banana just go up in value? No. The banana, I thought I had one here. The banana is the same banana. It's just that there's that much more money in the system that in order for the banana to get from the banana tree to you, you have to pay so many people to get that banana to you. Increasing wages, because inflation, people are fighting that, higher housing costs and everything. It kind of boils down to you as a consumer paying more for that banana. And that's what came out with CPI today. It's saying, besides food and energy, right? It's saying, hey, all the costs in the world have gone up an extra 0.1% over the past month. That's insane. The costs of everything, right? So it's just something you want to keep in mind when you're investing in assets. And that's why I'm investing in Bitcoin, because I believe over time, the money printer is going to keep printing, and this value is going to continue to absolutely rocket to the moon because they can't print more. They can't do it. There's 21 million. There will never be more. Everyone's going to want a piece of that pie. I think it is super important for you to get a piece of that pie. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but please please do your own diligence and get yourself a piece of a pie that cannot be expanded, right? It's truly the best store of value that there is. That's my Bitcoin rant for the night. Let's keep getting into the charts, right? And let's see if we could find some opportunity to get us some dough, because my girlfriend wants me to buy her some more gold, and I am not able to do that unless we get some good trades going, you know? Unless we get some good trades going. It is the only way you can keep your lady happy is to buy her gold on Valentine's Day. Or any day, right? Every day is a good day to buy your lady gold. I'm not going to start talking about my lady. I'm going to get in trouble here on the live. But, yeah, let's look and see if we can get some opportunity here in the market and see what assets are sticking out to me on crypto bubbles. All our trades are kind of, struggling with Bitcoin here. We're kind of hovering right near that 15-minute 200 moving average. I am going to evaluate this candle and see how it closes. I really want to see us push back above that 15-minute. I don't like how the 21's curving. You know what? I'm gonna do the responsible thing. I'll take some profits here. I'm gonna close that trade. With Bitcoin struggling, if we do not get above this, I'm going to close my Bitcoin trade right there. You can see the position history right now. Instead of $80, we made $124 off that trade, up 23.84%, right? Utilizing good risk management. And I am going to monitor these trades very carefully, right? Because we are still above the 15-minute 200 MA on all these assets. So why would I consider closing them unless we were to break that major area of support, right? So currently we're down a couple percent on these trades, but let's look and see if we could find an opportunity in the market to make us some gravy tonight, right? To get us some gold money, to get us some juicy gains here on what day is it? On a Wednesday, let's see here. On a Thursday night. Let's see if we can get some juicy gains here. Want everybody to have some money, right? To take their ladies out on Valentine's Day. What's everybody doing for Valentine's Day? Anybody got some plans? I need some ideas. Let's see any ideas. Oh my gosh, April in the chat. I know what she wants to do for Valentine's Day. Let's see if we could get that in the chat here. What does that lovely lady want to see on Valentine's Day? Right? Let's go to Crypto Bubbles here. Boop. All right. See what's hot in the last 5 minutes. Trump coin, 10% in the last 5 minutes. Look at that spike. Did he say something? He must have said something. That is a massive move. That is a massive, massive move. XCN, one of the only things holding up in the past hour. LDO, Pulse Chain, BitGet. Okay. Let's see what's in the last minute. Something's struggling. Pancake Swap, absolutely mooning today, up 57.2% on the day. Let's look at Pancake Swap. Pancake Swap, baby. You guys seen that? Oh, it's not even said anything. Nobody said anything. I've been trying to work on this. Oh yeah. All right. And this kind of man bun's super cool because you can. What is this? Windows Defender. Hey, we're back. We're back, baby. Yeah, let's go. Okay, cool. All right, we're running. I'm gonna have to call the Comcast people about this. This is a disturbance, right? All right. It's not even storming outside. Last night it was storming really bad. And, oh, good night. Parched my uvula dry. Last night it was storming real bad. I was hiding under the desk with my dog when the stream started cutting out. And it is nothing like that out there right now. So I'm gonna have to give them a little bit of a call, give them a little bit of a talking to, you know. A little bit of a talking to. Get that Comcast rip on the line. All right, let's see. Let's look at Pancake Swap. Here we are, before we were so rudely interrupted by the Comcast disaster. All right, we got a... This is tough, man. These spikes here, right? You want to speculate until you start breaking moving averages like we just did here, the 1 minute moving average. You want to you need to be biased towards movements to the upside, right? A great example of this in recent past has been XCN, right? XCN. Let's take a look at XCN. Right? XCN went on a massive move, right? All the way down from pretty much nothing up to 2 cents. So XCN, right? You had a bull flag here. You had a bull flag here, and it broke out to the upside. You had a bull flag here. Boop. Let's see. See how many bull flags we can find in here. Bull flag, boom to the upside. Bull flag. Boop. It broke down, right? They took the liquidity, right? But what do we see here? We dive in a little further. Oh my gosh. Boop. That's a horrible flag. That's a horrible flag. Don't even look at that flag. That flag. Don't even look at that flag. Okay. What is happening tonight? What is happening tonight, guys? I apologize. We're going to have to call that Comcast rep because we are not about to go through this. We are not about to go through internet disasters, right? Cool. We are back online, ready to roll. All right. The point being is, right, you have to speculate on these assets, continually ripping to the upside. Here's a bull flag right here. Up, flag, boom. Up, flag, boom. Up, flag, boom. Right? Until they don't, right? So that's what we're looking here on Pancake Swap, right? We're speculating on it breaking further to the upside. Now, I don't know what this flag is going to look like, right? This flag could look something like this, right? We could go a little higher on the wicks, right? And we could make a little flag like that. This is severely overextended, right? We're getting that golden cross on the 4 hour, but we are very far from the 21 moving average, right? We are very far from the 21 moving average. So I expect this 21 to come up, meet price action in some way, shape, or form, whether that be a flag, whether that be a sideways channel, before we move further to the upside, right? Like, how often do we get that far away from the 21? We don't. We always end up coming back to it, right? And it's a good judge of where price is likely to retrace to in a bullish manner. So as the 21 comes up here on Pancake Swap, you know, you expect price to range around here. 21 comes up to meet price action, and then you could get that further move, that extension to the upside, maybe before a blow off top scenario. Because what happens when the 4 hour is meeting price action? We are still lagging behind massively our 12-hour time period, right? Our 12-hour time period. So we will be looking to, let me see if we're still live. Good night. We are. I think we are. Disaster. You know, I'm gonna have to, yeah, I'll mess around with the settings, and we're gonna see what's going on here, because something's kicking us off this internet now. All right, here we go. I do want to know. I wish I got a notification when my camera turned offline, right? All right. Here we are, Pancake Swap, looking to form a bull planet of some kind before reaching back, before exploding further to the upside. So I would wait on this consolidation. I would wait for these stochastics to come down here like this and start curving back up over the course of the next few days, right? Because this is being the 12-hour time period, you got to speculate on some kind of cool off, because nothing is just going to go straight to the moon like that, right? All right, so let's go back. We went over XCN. We went over Pancake Swap. Let's look in the chat and see what kind of questions that we have. I would love to answer some questions. Anybody got any questions in the chat? April asked, what's on my head? This is my man gun, sweetie. This is my man bun. You showed me how to put it up earlier, so I'm just doing that for everyone. Let's see. Can you explain the difference between memes and regular coins? I'm glad you asked. Memes. Memes are memes are trolls, right? Memes are trolls. Memes have no utility. They don't make money. They don't solve a problem. They're just memes, and the only value that they have is the value that comes from what people give it, right? So it's not making any money. It's not like Aerodrome or Solana making money on fees, or Jupiter making money on fees, or, you know, Dogecoin doesn't even make money, right? It's the number one meme. But ultimately, this $38 billion that is in this asset is just speculating based off of the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk. If anything happened to any of those things, that coin would nuke like nothing before, right? The only reason Dogecoin took off like it did was because of Elon Musk and how much he promoted it, right? Because he thought it was funny. It's just it's a celebrity coin. It's Elon Musk's celebrity coin, essentially, right? Cardano makes money. Chainlink, through smart contracts, makes money, has partnerships with banks, everything all over the world. AVAX, right? Working with the government, working with the Trump team, which is really, really cool. Toncoin makes money. Litecoin, a Bitcoin fork, right? There are assets that make money. Hedera, working on real world asset tokenization, right? Just secured a contract with the Saudi Arabian gem company, tokenizing like $3 billion of gems and precious metals, right? So these projects have the ability to make money and earn an income, right? And redistribute that to investors, like Apple, right? Apple sells a phone. The investors end up getting a portion of that money, right? As it is a publicly traded company. Those profits through dividends get redistributed back to investors. Meme coins won't do that. They'll do things like the developers will come up with little creative ways to pump it. Like, oh, I'm going to create a burn. I'm going to burn 1 million tokens when there's 200 billion in supply, right? To get that little news out, to try to help people, mentally justify getting in their projects, but they ultimately don't do anything, right? So in the long run, most memes will go to zero. And we talked about that the other day yesterday on the stream. We went over Peanut, we went over Chill Guy, we went over Melania coin. We went over these coins that just don't have any value. And that shows when there's even the slightest weakness in Bitcoin, right? It shows when there's even the slightest weakness, those assets down 80-90% from their all-time highs, and Bitcoin's down 10% from its all-time high. So less than that from its all-time high. So that's the difference between memes. That's the difference between memes and actual coins. What do you think about Hype? Hyperliquid. Keep pumping or pulling back? Let's see. Let's open it up. Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid, not a meme. In the real world, not in the real world asset space, in the NFT space, right? Hyperliquid making a strong run to the upside. Very strong on the 5 minute, right? We're coming back to that 5 minute 200 MA. I'm just gonna doodle a little here, see what we could find. Yeah, we got kind of a channel going on here. Let's see. You really want to see. Yeah, I would say that you're in a falling wedge here. Falling wedges usually do break up to the upside 60% of the time. However, I would be very cautious in here and watch that 5 minute 200 MA. Super important when you're looking at assets as a whole, right? We get above the 5 minute 200. We get an explosive move to the upside. We get below the 5 minute 200. We get an explosive move to the downside. We get above the 5 minute 200. We get an explosive move to the upside. We get below the 5 minute 200. We get a massive move to the downside. So you see how it's very important. And sometimes if you look back, right, it'll bounce off of these areas right here. You get closer to 500, 200 MA. We got rejected here, you know, got rejected. It served as support here. It served as support here, support here, support here, support here, until it then broke through. Full candle body close below. We didn't really have a full body. Oh, we did. But we got right back above, right? We had a couple full candle body closes, and we went to the downside very violently, very quickly, right? So that's what I would be looking at Hyperliquid right now. If you're bullish on it, speculating on that 5 minute 200 MA holding. Now, a move that would be a move that you could make, right? You could wait for a break of this trend right here, right? Get above the high volume node, a retest, right? You get above the high volume node, a retest, and you could look to come back up to the highs, right? Which is right here about 25,839. if you're looking for a smaller term trade. But if you're speaking in reference to a zoomed out view, let me get rid of my old work here. A zoomed out view, this is Chop City. This is Chop City. You've been ranging since on the daily, been ranging from $20 up to, okay, 27. That's kind of a little extrapolated, but you've been ranging in the lower $20 region since essentially 40 for the last 40 days or so. Now on the daily, this looks very promising to me. This is what I'm seeing on the daily. And higher time frame patterns often indicate bigger moves, right? Leading up to, oh, we don't have a lot of data on this chart actually. This is on KuCoin. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Nope. Bitcoin, crypto, Mexi, no. Coinbase, maybe? KuCoin on Pyth. All right, let's roll with this chart. Here we go. On the daily, right? We don't have a lot of data, right? But we have enough data to form this pattern right here. You are looking at a massive, massive flag forming on the daily time frame. Now, a trade idea, right? How do I trade this? When do I get in? When do I get out, right? You have your flag, you have your pennant, right? And you're looking at hyper liquid from this pennant, right? Depending on where we break here, you're looking at a move of approximately 82%, right? That's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, right? But good trade idea, right? If you're speculating on this asset moving up, and again, all these trade ideas, none of them being financial advice, all of these trade ideas are going to hinge on Bitcoin's success, right? Bitcoin will need to hold where it is, at least hold. If Bitcoin dumps, every altcoin, okay, 99% of all altcoins will follow suit, and will follow suit much harder than Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin dominance continues to rise, right? So we're always looking for trades on a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, right? And I'm liking this. This would be a 4-to-1. And you know, this matches up. I want to see a 3.5, right? Let's go below that wick there. This would be a 4.17-to-1 trade. I'm actually going to take this. I'll take this with you. Let's go to hyper liquid here. Now, could there be better entries? Yeah, there could be better entries, right? But we're still, you know, if Bitcoin dominance does start to fall off and Bitcoin gets a bounce here or there, right? And, you know, our altcoins are still struggling massively, right? But they will be fine as soon as Bitcoin gets a bounce. If Bitcoin, let me see. Hold on, let me look at this Bitcoin trade first. We're dumping pretty massively. See, we cracked that 15-minute 200 MA. I got out of my trade up here, and we are kind of nuking to the downside. That is not something that we want to see. Now, where am I looking for a bounce on Bitcoin? I will get back to hyperliquid in just a moment. Where am I looking for a bounce on Bitcoin? Well, I'm kind of speculating on a golden pocket retrace right here. After we we didn't make a new higher, lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high, broke to the downside. We have comparatively a higher high here. Now, where's the next higher low about to come in? You're looking in this golden pocket area, the 618 to 786 region. So I would like to see Bitcoin come down, and I'm going to set a limit. I'm going to speculate on the about the midway here, 95.320. I'll get back into my long, and we'll speculate on a cup and handle, right? You can see that cup with the handle, a cup and handle bounce upwards to the upside, and let's see if we can ride this thing back to $100,000. So let's go with 95,300. Let's put our take profit at 100,000. And we'll put our stop loss below that low there at about 94,000. And we'll risk $50 on a trade for 200. That sounds good to me. I'm going to put that trade in there. Boop, 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 boop. And we're going to have our limit up buy down there. So I'm going to let that sit for now. But let's run the hyper liquid. Hyper liquid, baby. On a tear the last couple days. I think the last couple days, right? Yeah, you've had a 10% pump over the last few days. Boop. 15%. Right, but I really like what we're seeing here on this bigger time frame. So I'll enter the trade now on this 4-to-1, right? I'll enter. Altcoin's still riding, right? Altcoin's still riding. It's okay. Yesterday we were in Ethereum trade and it was down massively. Actually, it's still open, right? We were down massively on this Ethereum trade, down about $100. We're only down about 20 now. It is what it is. That was our longer term trade. So we're keeping that open and we're expecting Ethereum to move higher to the upside. We don't have a lot of data on here. We don't even have the daily 200 because it's not 200 days. I don't believe this is 200 days old. This project, it is not, right? According to, yeah, according to this chart, I don't know. I'll have to do some research on that. I'll come back to you on that and give you an update. But here we are. You know, we're going to enter, I'm going to enter, not financial advice, but I'm going to enter my trade here at about 24.8. About 24.8. I'm going to set a limit, right? I'm always going to limit in because it's going to pay me, it's going to give me less fees, right? And looking at our trade here on TradingView, I'm going to go to about 46.6. 46.6 with a stop at 19.6. I'm going to speculate on a breakout here. On a breakout. You know, I may even go a little more conservative. Boop. What does that give me? 2-to-1? Yeah, it gives me 2-to-1. So I'll run with this idea here. So assuming that this is a bull pennant, right, which is what I believe it is, it could also be kind of a symmetrical triangle, right? We take the distance between the two legs, right, and we will put that together and get our take profit at about 36, right? I'll take 50% off the table there, and I'll also take the other 50 at 46.8. This is going to be a longer term trade. This is a longer term trade. This is a longer term trade. This will not happen overnight. This will not. All right, so we're going to 46.8. And I believe we had it set at 19.6. We go to 19.6. All right, and we're going to bring our risk down. Risk 67 for 280. That sounds like a fair risk reward to me. Sounds good. I'm going to set my limit in. I'm going to limit in, drag my bar up into price action, right? And now I am in the trade with you, ride or die. Let's go hyper liquid, right? So we have our position down here, and this isn't going to happen in a day, right? This isn't even going to happen in 2 days. This is likely to take maybe then another month or so, but we're looking for a month-long trade, only using $67 of capital, right? Risking $67 of capital to potentially make almost $300. That sounds like a great trade to me, and that is a trade I'm going to ride with, and I will keep you updated with that trade here on the live as we go over it every night until we hit our target, right? I'll take some off the table around 36 or so. I'm going to mark that here on my blowfin chart. So yeah, I'm going to take it at the prior high there. I'll protect myself against those double tops, right? Take some profit there. In the event we reject down, I could have dragged my stop loss up here in the profit. If we get knocked out, that is what it is. If we don't get knocked out, hey, we go to the target and we make an extra $300, which would be really nice for this account, seeing we are going from $5,000 to $10,000. The account currently sitting at $5,505, and we are going to see that get to a $10,000 price, or we're going to see that balance grow to a $10,000 balance together here on this channel. I'm super excited to see you guys doing that with me. If you don't have $5,000, that is okay. You can use 100. You could use 10. You could use one and just trade on pennies. Listen, this is an educational environment. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you'd like to do what I do, feel free to use my Blowfin link below in the description. If you want to join in on our trades, our ideas, or just to practice, you could have a demo account. You could also use Weeks. Weeks is a no KYC exchange, just like Blowfin, that'll allow you to execute trades and ideas, right? So I'm going to keep these trades open here. I don't think Bitcoin's really going to struggle that much. Okay, we're dumping pretty massively, right? Strong wick. We do have news tomorrow. I'm going to let these trades ride. I'm going to let these trades ride through the news. We are very oversold here on the 15. How often do we get that oversold? We were oversold on the 15 here. Boop. We got a explosion to the upside. We were oversold on the 15 here. Boop. We were oversold on the 15 here. Boop. Right? And every time you get oversold on the 15-minute time frame, you generally get a push up. I'm not too worried about this move. And that is the point of strategically placing your stop losses, right? If they're too close and price doesn't go in your direction, you are going to get stopped, and it's going to feel awful because you're going to be wondering when's the next opportunity to get into the trade, right? You want to form these, in my opinion, you want to form these bigger ideas that will play out over time, right? So I wasn't freaking out when my Ethereum trade was down, right? And currently, every trade that I'm in is down, right? But our account is up $500 over this week because we're utilizing good risk management. Even if all these trades were to lose, which I do not believe they will, if all these trades were to lose, right, we would still be in the profits because we've been using good risk management and using 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk reward ratios when we're taking our trades to ensure that we only need to hit 25 to 33% of our trades just to break even. We are aiming to win half of all of our trades. We're aiming to win 100% of our trades, but we only need to win 50% of our trades to be absolutely monumentally profitable so that we could afford to take our girlfriends out on Valentine's Day. All right, let's see. All right, what other questions we got? What's my favorite thing about trading? The reason I love trading is because it gives me the opportunity to make money without somebody being in charge of me. I like trading my money. I like trading my money, which is what I'm doing here, risking my capital for gain, right? I like doing that vice trading my time for gain, right? I have the freedom to do whatever I want, whenever I want. I could stream when I want. I could trade when I want. I don't have to show up at work at a certain time, wake up at a certain time. I could choose to be on whatever schedule or rotation that I want. But my job, I see my job as this, right? As streaming, as trading. I don't really have anybody that I have to go and answer to each day. And to me, that's my American dream, to be able to live within my means comfortably and not have to go to a job. Everybody that has a job spends 40 hours at minimum on full-time work a week working for somebody else in their dream, right? And that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing the same thing as everybody out there going to work full-time is, except for I'm not working for somebody else's dream. I'm working for mine, right? And I'm building this house, this little brick house, one brick at a time, and eventually we're going to get there. That's my favorite thing about trading. It has a limitless earning opportunity, right? Also, it does have unlimited loss potential, but it has a limitless earning potential. Whereas I know if I go get a job, I'll be getting paid $20 an hour, regardless of how fast I work. I could be really good at my job, or I could be really trash at my job and go sit on my phone in the bathroom, texting my friends while I'm taking a plopper, right? Like, so yeah, I could be doing that, and there could be, Johnny out there, busting his butt, stocking shelves or doing whatever, doing all the work, and we get paid the same because we're on an hourly rate or a salary, right? So I like my own work to be able to speak for myself. So that's why I enjoy trading, because I could look at I could look at my, account balance and say, hey, I'm doing a good job, or hey, we're doing awful, right? And I need to, switch up the way I look at things or change my trading strategy or whatever, right? So that I'm able to, and here we go. So that I'm able to, make an income for myself and my family. All right. So we're going to go over something right here. It's called bullish divergence, right? This is showing me that the sellers are running out of strength. We have a swing, a lower low in price action and a higher low on the RSI indicator in the oversold range. That's telling me that we are likely to get a bounce to break that high before we break this low. Does that always happen? Absolutely not, right? But this is telling me that the bears are running out of selling strength. Now, what if we break lower here, right? And we break higher here on the RSI? We could extend this higher, right? And make another higher low, and that bullish divergence will be even stronger. So what if the 5-minute doesn't work out, right? Well, then we'll start looking to the 15. And if 15 doesn't work out, then we'll start looking to the hour. And then you start getting divergence that is very strong on the higher time frames, right? So maybe the 5-minute and the 15-minute and the 30-minute bullish divs didn't work out. But look at this here. We had a swing down in price action here, right? Talking about the candle bodies, when I'm talking about divergence, I like using the candle bodies. And a swing up here in price on the 1 hour. That bullish divergence was able to kick us out of here and get a massive, massive pump to the upside. And this was despite the news. This divergence formed while we were receiving the CPI news this morning. So it's something that's really cool as far as showing where price is likely to reverse, right? And it doesn't need to be, oh, this swings up while this swings down, right? Even if they're pitched a little different, this swings down. You're looking to see if these lines right here will cross at a certain time. If these lines kept going indefinitely, these lines would cross, right? That's bullish divergence. You got to pump to the upside, right? Right here. We have a swing, kind of, sort of. It's not strong by any means. But that's a weaker bullish divergence, right? That you're seeing right there. And it pushed us to the upside. And bullish divergence happens a lot. And it helps us determine when price is likely to revert on these, especially these higher time frames, right? Check this one out. Massive swing down in price. You had a swing up in the RSI. That's saying the sellers are running out of strength. And when you have a massive capitulation like that, once people start buying it up, it is not hard for us to squeeze back above and start squeezing these shorts. It sets up short squeeze scenarios. And it's super fun to trade with because you're looking at catching potential bottoms, right? So if we go to this 5-minute, we can see how this bull div plays out, and we'll see. If it breaks this blue line, then this 5-minute bull div didn't play out. If it breaks this, or the 5-minute bull div will not play out. But if it breaks this blue line, you'll be like, hey, that could have been the bottom right there. Right there. That could have been the bottom. And that is super awesome to be able to catch a bottom trade like that, right? Like, I'm not going to go in on this trade right now currently because it goes against what I believe to be good risk management, right? We're below the 15-minute 200. We're below the 5. Now, get above the 1. Get above the 1. And look at this here, even on the 1. Right? Let's get rid of our... Boop, 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 boop. So lines are going to change as you change time frames, right? Because they're going to stretch and shrink. Look at... I don't know. We really don't have it there on the 1. But you did here. Yep. There we go. Swing down on price action. You had a swing up in the RSI. Right? It did kick in. It didn't break through that high. And we rolled over. It is what it is. But now you're looking for the inverted head and shoulder. Now we got our, in order to get us out of here, right? And potentially push us back up to the 200 MA on the 1 minute. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. This is high risk on the 1 minute. This is high risk on the 1 minute. Is that what's going to save us here? push us back up, maybe break these highs, flip over the 1 minute 200 MA. You flip over the 1 minute 200 MA, you could get a massive pump. You flip over the 1 minute 200 MA, you get a massive pump. 1 minute 200 MA, massive pump, massive pump, massive pump, massive pump, 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 pump. Right? So we'll see if that plays out. What are the questions we got here? So, April, again, dear, thank you for the questions. Thank you for the support. You are so awesome. Much love, my dear. All right, let's see. What is the downside of trading on Coinbase, right? I have no problems with Coinbase as an institution, right? But their fees are going to nickel and dime you so badly. So will Fidelity, and so will all these massive institutions that are allowing you to trade cryptos, right? They're going to fee you, and they're going to fee you one time, right? Per trade, right? Like, the fees are just so massive. You're looking at a 2 to 3% trade. If you bought Bitcoin at $100,000, you'll look at the price you're going to pay for Bitcoin. It's going to be 102, 103,000. You're like, wait, Bitcoin's only at 100,000. Well, you have to pay their fee in order to obtain Bitcoin. So when I'm buying crypto, when I'm buying spot, I have to do it on Coinbase. It's the only way to really get crypto. But then from there, right, I'm going to send it to an exchange. If I want to trade on spot, I'm going to swap it on an exchange, which have 0% fees, right? If I'm constantly buying and selling on Coinbase, they're going to be like, oh, 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%, 3% every transaction, and you are not going to make any money unless you hold things for a very long time, right? So it is not advised to spot trade on Coinbase or Fidelity. And the crazy thing is, I think this is absolutely, I think this is a massive scam. Like Fidelity drives me nuts. Right? Because they claim, oh, you pay with 0 fees. And that's true. They don't have a fee section, right, that you pay. They just jack up the prices of all the assets that you trade. They jack them up. But not when you're looking at the asset, when you go to hit the buy button. When you're like, I like to buy that and hit buy. You want to buy $2.20 XRP. Well, you sell, XRP at $2.20, you're going to sell it at 207, 205. Why? Because you're paying Fidelity's fee and they're trying to hide it from you. It drives me nuts. Check it out. The next time you trade on Coinbase or you buy or you sell on Fidelity or anything like that, they make money, massive money, trying to trick people like that. And I hate it. I can't describe how much I hate it. I highly recommend if you're going to trade on spot, constantly buying and selling things, you do it through an exchange like Blowfin, like Weeks, like MEXC, an exchange that will charge 0% spot, true 0%, and not take money out of your pocket. There's a reason they get massive institutional adoption on Wall Street, right? Because you can trade Coinbase on Wall Street. How are they making money? You always have to ask yourself, how's Fidelity making money? Fees. And they're becoming more profitable. Why? Because the space is getting a lot more attention and they take advantage of people who don't know about fees, right? So when you hit the buy button and you had $100 in there and now you have 96 immediately, you're like, dang, where'd that go? Well, that sucks. You already transferred it. Oh, well, no, I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to sell it. And then you sell for 96. Well, they're going to hit you again. That's how those companies make money. And it sucks because that's the exchange that the majority of the American public use. That's the exchange that I use, right? To get Bitcoin and crypto, right? You have to pay that fee, but I pay it once. Not twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, 20 times, until your dollar eventually just goes away, right? You just keep getting nicked 2 to 3% every time you utilize those services. And that's not something that I want to partake in, right? All right, let's see here. We're getting a little bounce on Bitcoin. With dominance falling, it's likely that our trades are coming back up a little bit. Our hyper liquid trade in the green, right? Virtual trade still kind of struggling. It is what it is, right? Yeah, our link's still struggling. That's okay. Those are going to come back as Bitcoin does recover, especially as dominance. If dominance still, we'll keep that hyper liquid getting tracked, right? Especially if dominance continues to fall. See if dominance is struggling. Great news for the altcoins. It tried to give us this little Adam and Eve here on the 5, it doesn't really look like it's going to work out. We do have a triangle forming here, and it could go either way. You could argue that it broke out, retested, it's pushing to the upside. I'd look at it more like this, right? Boop. All right. That looks good, right? And if that breaks to the downside, you're going to see some relief in these altcoins, which deserve it. Why? Because look at this blood in the month. This is, I don't say it was bloodier than, but it's bloody, man. It's bloody. Look at all this red. Look at all this red. Good night. It's like the grocery store trash cans when you go to clean the female restrooms when you're working there at Kroger. It is red. It's bloody. It's overflowing, right? And these altcoins have been absolutely decimated and beaten up. So they deserve some type of relief right here, right? It's not natural for these assets to be down 35% and Bitcoin to be down, 2 or 3. I think we're going to get some altcoin relief here, especially as Bitcoin dominance starts to give way, starts to curve over, arc over, and start losing 200 MAs. We lost to 5, we lost to 7, we lost to 15, we lost to 30, we lost the 1 hour, we lost the, here we are. This is where we stand here on Bitcoin dominance. This 2-hour MA is starting to stand in the way. Higher time frames are going to get further distance apart. Let's look what a 3-hour would come down all the way to 60, right? 4-hour down to 59.5. The daily all the way down here at 58. You break the daily, then you're looking for the 2-day. All right, the 2-day down at 56, right? All these will serve as support levels until they break, which they will serve as resistance. 54. And when you break these, look at every time we've broken the 3-day. The 3-day we broke here, and we never looked back. 3-day we broke here. Had a massive drop, right? 10%. Broke above here. 12%. Broke below. 40%. That's alt season right there. That's alt season. That's what we're looking for here. Maybe that was the shooting star. Very similar to what you see right here. Where else do you see shooting stars in this? We saw one here. We got a little bit of a retracement in the alts. We saw one here. A massive dump. We see one here. Look at all these. Shooting star. Shooting star. Shooting star. Shooting star. Following, that's a Darth Maul. Shooting star. Following all of these shooting stars on Bitcoin, we have had altcoin retracements. Pretty massive ones, actually. Not altcoin retracements, altcoin relief. 15%, 40%, 17%, 15%, 10%. You get the point, right? So is this the beginning of something bigger? Is this the beginning of us breaking this 200 MA and falling down through this gap in the VRVP to the high volume node to the bear market as far as Bitcoin dominance? It goes to the bear market area, right? Because once these assets start taking off from where they're at right now, FOMO will kick in like nothing else. FOMO will kick in like nothing else. You're going to see green everywhere, right? Green, green, green. You're going to see 30Xs, virtuals. You're going to see 14Xs. You're going to see there will be coins on this list that do a 100X. There will be. I don't know what they're going to be. Good luck finding them. But there are coins here that will do a 100X. There are coins that really have the ability to change the way we view banking in the financial sector, real world asset tokenization. Larry Fink talks about it every single day. Every single day he comes on the news, he talks about real world assets. We're working on tokenization of real world assets. What is he talking about? He's talking about Chainlink. He's talking about Ondo. He's talking about Avalanche. He's talking about assets that have the ability to put his assets, his trillions and trillions that he has under his belt, under management and tokenized, right? Well, why do we want to do that? Why do we want to tokenize assets? Because it gets rid of the middleman. it gets rid of the middleman. It gets rid of realtors. It gets rid of bankers. It gets rid of, you're able to do everything on chain without leaving your house, right? But, you don't have to, you file paperwork and you send stuff in to, get reviewed by people, right? But you won't have to do that anymore. You'll send it in, the blockchain will review it, either AI, right? Or a node or a program or something like that, send it back to you. It'll be done in 5 minutes and then you'll have your loan, right? That's in my opinion, that's the future, and that's where we are going, right? So that's just my little take on like where is the big money going to flow into? Don't worry, everyone. Don't worry. I will look into this issue. This internet issue is a disaster. I'm going to be like the detectives on My Girlfriend's Murder podcast, right? I will find out why. I will find out the culprit. I will bring them to justice. This is a disaster. We can't work like this, right? We can't work like this. So we're going to hold somebody accountable. Don't worry. This Comcast guy is going to get it. Comcast guy looking like Jake from State Farm, gonna get it. All right, everybody, that is what I am looking at as far as the crypto market as a whole. I appreciate everybody joining in tonight, talking with me, hanging out with me. And this was a video that I was really looking forward to. I hope everybody enjoyed the man bun, right? And I know everybody's super tired. Whenever you're tired, like my friends used to be in the Navy, you got to go and get some sleep and get some rest and just relax. And I encourage everybody, the loved ones that are near you, show some love. Oh, that's not even, show some love and just be with everybody that you love. And I will see every one of you tomorrow night for our nightly update. I'm going to let these trades ride and we'll see how they go for tomorrow. And I will keep everybody updated on my Twitter or on my X account at Boys Crypto if you're interested in what I am doing throughout the day. But I bid everybody good night, and I appreciate you tuning in today. Leave a comment, and subscribe.